Right. Welcome, welcome, welcome to everyone. I'm Christina Martinez-Williams. I live in Fort Washington, Maryland, and I drank Ruby Rush Unleashed this morning, and I just finished my keto cream, vanilla bean keto cream. Welcome, everyone. Hey, Jody in Massachusetts and Cotton Candy. Ooh, yum. And Pam from Royal Oaks, California, pumpkin spice keto cream. Ooh, you still have some of that. Nice. And Lindsay in New Hampshire, hibiscus lemonade. Oh, yummy, yummy, yummy. Sarah from Nevada and Jackie in Tampa. Hey, everyone. Welcome, welcome. We're going to go ahead and get started, and we're going to make this really action-packed. So we as champs decided that since we have a call every week, we really want to make sure that we're giving tools to invite to this call, and we wanted to create an opportunity for us to do that together because it's really fun to all invite at the same time, anyone who's able to if you're not driving, and to celebrate when we have people who say, yes, we want to get on the call. It makes it really easy for us to do it when it's together, and if we can take some concentrated time and dedicate it to that, I think we can maximize our use of this guest call that we have every single Wednesday and pack it with us, pack it with our interested people, pack it with our customers, and help more people get started, both as customers and promoters. So this call is a great opportunity for us to really utilize the tool of our community, the tool and the voices and the validation of our community. And our community is so strong, we get to introduce people to it, but we also get to introduce people to other people's stories so that they hear that third-party validation. They hear that reason why we are doing what we're doing and what's happening, how ketones are affecting people's lives. So again, my name is Christina Martinez-Williams. I know I didn't really fully introduce myself. I live in Fort Washington, Maryland, about half an hour from the capital. And I have been drinking ketones now for 5 years. Yeah, 5 years today, I think, or right around today, 5 years. And have been only sharing them for 3.5 years of those 5 years. And I have 2 young daughters who are 5 and 7. And this has shifted everything for me and for everyone in my family. So let's get started with what we're doing. We're going to talk to various people, groups of people. So I want you to be thinking about who these groups of people that you have in your phone, in your Facebook, and start making a list. As you're hearing what I'm talking about, which people, I want you to start making a list of who you're going to invite and write their names down. If you're able to drive, if you're driving, don't write their names down. If you're not driving, write their names down or remember these categories so that you can start to send out messages, even if it's after this action call. So you want to talk to people that you've already been talking to about ketones. Maybe you have said, are you drinking ketones yet? And you've sent them the campfire video. That might be a person that's on your Rhino Run tracker that we were using last month as a community. Look on anyone on that tracker is someone that you should be inviting to this call. So anyone that has shown interest in ketones in the past, anyone who's currently a customer, this is a great call for them to be encouraged about what's going on in their bodies, to see that this is a process, it's a journey, and see what better can look like in people's lives. Also to plant seeds about being a promoter. Also, who has a trial pack right now or has had one in the recent past? Who has some trial pack that might be interested in taking that next step to becoming a customer if they hear more of what's going on and how this is affecting people's lives. Also, this is an opportunity to invite brand new people who've never heard about ketones yet. You can still ask the same question to begin, or you can just, we're going to use some language. I'm going to give you some language. You can use your own language, but this can be a tool to invite new people as well to this conversation. Thank you, Carrie, for writing down all of that in the chat, and let's get started. So the language that we can use can be super simple. You're going to reach out to those people, make that list. I like making the list first so that I can then just reach out, and I'm not taking time to retype. I'm just going to the list of people and then I'm sending the message. It may be that I'm calling after this call certain people that I generally talk to on the phone versus texting or in a messenger chat. But for those, we're going to start with those that we normally communicate or that we're currently communicating in with text or with a messenger message. So in that message, you can say, hey, I know that you have been interested in ketones, or I know that you're loving your ketones, whoever they are. Or are you drinking ketones yet? They've shifted everything for me, or they've given me better energy, focus, and fat loss. Keep it short and simple if it's brand new about that. And then you want to ask them to let them know that we are having a call tonight. So that language can be really simple. And I've asked Sarah Green if she can copy and paste this, because I'm on my phone on a computer and it's harder for me to copy and paste this. And you can use this language, tweak it to yours, and then let's start inviting. So I know you've shown interest in ketones in the past, where you're loving your ketones. We're doing a private call tonight to help answer questions and hear more about how sharing this conversation is changing lives and creating a ripple impact. If I were to send you the call details, would you be interested in listening in? That's it. If I were, would you? We always use that phrase because that helps produce a response of yes or no. And then we can continue a conversation based on what they say. So this language, I believe Sarah just pasted it in there. And then once they say yes, then you're going to text in the chat in this call right now that someone said yes. You can put yes. Someone just put the word yes, and we're going to celebrate when we see that someone said yes. And then you can say awesome, or whatever you use to respond, like awesome. It's at, and then here's the details. It's right here for you, so you can copy and paste it and then use it in your language. The great thing about action like this is to really focus on sending as many invites as possible. It gets really tempting to see that people responded and want to start responding back to them and giving them this second piece of information. Wait to do that. Invite your whole list of people and continue looking for more people during this time. And then when we get off, copy and paste this other language so that you can send it to them. And then you can continue the conversation. But the more people that we can invite during this time, the more that means that are going to get on. So sometimes it means to get 1 or 2 people on, you need to invite 10 or 20 people in order to get on. So let's invite as many as possible. Come off mute if you have questions. If you have questions with, and you've invited everyone and people are responding and you're starting to respond and you want to know how to respond to someone, come off, ask questions, or put it in the chat. And let's get going. So start making your list, and here's the language you can use. And if you're new, Jackie, good question. And Stephanie has a yes, awesome. If you're new,
Sorry,
Jackie.
I'm new and I don't have a voice, so I'm just gonna put my question in the chat, but I'm new. So my question is, what if you're new and you just have people that are really wanting samples? So how would you go about diverting from the samples and getting them on the call?
Awesome, great question. I love it. When that's your case, and that's awesome that you're in that space, you get to say, hey, I know that you're interested in grabbing a trial pack, or I know I've talked to you about having a trial pack. I'd love for you to listen in on this call that we're having tonight, because there's going to be some powerful stories shared about people who are experiencing the benefits of ketones. And then use the same language. If I were to send you the link, would you be interested in listening in? Does that make sense, Jackie?
Yes, thank you.
You're welcome. I'm sorry you don't have a voice. All right. Keep going with questions if you have them, and start inviting. And when you have a yes, tell us in the chat. Let's celebrate. And if there's others of you who have other language that you like to use that's similar and has the if I would you, drop it in the chat as well. There's not just one way to invite people to a call, although the if I would you is really helpful to add in there. But drop in the chat if you have language that you like to use that's effective. Love to hear and see other people's chat. Lindsay is saying, I have people who have been interested in the call but haven't shown up yet. How can I get them to take the leap and actually show up? Great question, Lindsay. Sometimes it takes inviting them 3-4 times before they decide that they're ready to join a call. If they haven't shown up yet, and keep inviting, and you could spread out your invites a little bit if you want, or you can invite every week. It's okay if you invite every week. You can also ask them at the end of, like, if it's been 2 times already that you've invited them, at the end of your invitation, you can say, hey, I don't want to bother you. Let me know if you're not interested. And because I don't want to bother you, or I don't want to be a pest. I don't want to, whatever your language that makes sense for you is with that, you can tell them that you don't want to bother them. Also, make a point to connect them with them in between the call invites and provide more value. So that might be that you're connecting them to someone else who's drinking ketones and providing that third-party validation. And you can use the language of, let me connect you with my friend Christina, who's been drinking ketones for 5 years. I want you to hear her story. It's powerful. You can also send a campfire video, not a campfire video, that already probably has been sent. You can send them a ketone clarity or inspire on video, or the newly released, and invite them to enter the freebie Friday by watching the video on Friday. And that will also add more value and might give them another kind of plant another seed in their mind of, oh, okay, actually, I think I do want to listen to more. Let me plug in. And maybe they won't ever plug in. Then they need some other connection to help them to make that decision. Not everyone is going to find this call the best resource possible for them, but keep doing your part in asking and inviting, and then offering other connection points. If they want, yes, Sarah. So if they say that they aren't going to be available tonight, or that they're not able to get on the call, then you always can ask them, if I'm able to grab the call recording, would you be interested in watching it? And that's a great opportunity, because often this call invite is to get us into action, talking to people, having conversations. And then even if people don't, if you know that they're not going to be able to get on, still invite them. And then you can offer the call recording. And often people like the call recording because they can listen to that on their own time. And the more that you can either have people on or have people who want to listen to the call recording, that's more people that are learning more about how ketones are being impacting the world, how they're being affecting people's lives. You're welcome, Lindsay. Great questions. Keep asking questions, keep inviting, and if you've already got a list made, add one more person to your list. Push yourself for that one more person. Or if adding one is easy, push yourself to add 5 more people or 10 more people, and go for more. We're going to be on here for another 4 minutes, maybe another 5 minutes. So push yourself to invite even more. And then as you get responses, let us know too if you have questions about how to respond to them. I know yeses are easy to spot, even if you don't respond yet. You can see. Woo! Carrie's got 2 yeses. Wahoo! Nice job, Carrie. So exciting. And 11 no's. Great. Thank you, Carrie, for sharing that. And no responses and 6 no's. That is awesome. So we want to go for that no, because it takes a lot of no's to get to the yes. And remember too that everyone has lives going on just like we do. And so sometimes a yes means that they're interested and they've like raised their hand pretty high, but they may end up not showing up, which is okay, because then tomorrow we can follow up and say, hey, the stories were really powerful. If I were able to grab you the call recording, would you be willing to watch it? That will help you give another reason to follow back up. And often people will say yes and not show up, and that's okay. Sometimes it used to like, oh man, I had this many people say yes and only this many people showed up, or 0 people showed up. It's okay. Now I know that I get to just follow up and offer the recording, and often that makes it even more powerful for them. Back to school week, yes. Definitely. Rebecca has a yes. Woohoo! Awesome. Keep sharing your yeses and keep inviting. One maybe, one no, but yes to the recording. Awesome. I love it. And 2 yeses, Chelsea. Woo! That's awesome. And just think that if we do this every week, which we're going to have this invite call every week, the number of people that you're putting in front of more people's stories is growing, and the number of people that you're talking to is growing, and the value that you're adding to them is growing, and that just grows our businesses over time, as well as helps us to help more people over time. I love this tool because it leverages everything that we have, all the strengths that we have within our community, and allows us to do this together, because we really can do a lot more together. And when all of us have even just one person on the call, we or 0, and have people watching the recording, we are doing a lot. We're sharing a lot, and we're allowing other people to grow their belief. It also grows our own belief in ourselves. Whenever I jump on and listen, I have a stronger belief in what ketones can do in people's bodies, a stronger belief of the opportunity to have with promoting, and I'm ready to share more because I'm hearing that, and I'm building that within myself. All right, we are at the end, I believe. Nick, maybe you can tell me if 20 minutes is where you wanted, if we were at that for this, but I believe we're at the end of our time. Any questions before we jump off? Throw in the chat how many people you were able to invite in this short time. We didn't even use the whole entire 20 minutes to invite. So throw in the chat how many people you were able to invite, because I want you to all see that this is something that can be done really in small chunks of your day. Even if you take 5 minutes and invite, and then do that again later, and 2 different times before the call starts, you're going to have invited a lot of people. Heather's invited 10 so far and has 1 yes and 1 wants the recording. Awesome. Lauren's invited 22 people. Kathy, 12, but no answers yet. That's great. No problem. Linda's invited 7 and 2. Rebecca's invited 2 because she's at work. Awesome. 2 is a lot that you're at work and that you've still been able to invite 2. That's awesome. And Jody has invited 5 people. Awesome. That's everyone has invited, and you're still waiting. That's awesome. People have things going on. I have people that I've invited before that never respond, and then they still don't respond when I offer the call recording the next day, and then I invite them again, and I invite them again, and then maybe the 4th or 5th time they do respond, and then they end up becoming customers in the future. Getting paid to build your dreams. That's right, Carrie. All right. Well, thank you everyone for participating. Keep inviting to the call. Use pockets of 5 minutes. Add to your list throughout the day. If people come to your mind, send them a text, invite them to this. This is our tool every week that we have, and we get the privilege of plugging into it. And that's it. Have a great rest of your day.